I'm 78 years old. Most mornings now, I wake up before the sun, not because I need to, but because my body doesn't let me sleep the way it used to. In those early hours, when the house is quiet and there's no one asking anything of me, I think about how much of my life I spent believing that what mattered would become clear later. I didn't expect to still be here, telling this out loud. Not like this. Not with so much already behind me and so little ahead that feels certain. I'm not telling this because I need forgiveness or comfort or praise. I'm telling it because there's nothing left to protect. Most of the people I tried to impress are gone. Most of the things I worked for no longer need me. And the truth has a way of showing up when there's no more noise to drown it out. For a long time, I thought what mattered was being useful, being reliable, being the one who showed up early, stayed late, did what was expected without complaint. I thought that if I handled my responsibilities well enough, the rest would fall into place on its own. That seemed reasonable at the time. When I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, life felt like a series of doors that needed to be pushed open in the right order. Finish school, find work, build something stable. I wasn't chasing fame or fortune. I was chasing security. I wanted a life that wouldn't fall apart if something went wrong. I worked steady jobs. I took pride in not missing days. I learned how to keep my head down and my mouth shut. I learned how to say yes, even when I was tired, even when my wife looked disappointed when I came home late again. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself that once things were settled, once we had enough saved, once the kids were older, I'd be more present. I'd listen better. I'd slow down. There was always a reason to delay that part. Our house wasn't fancy, but it was clean. Dinner was usually on the table. The bills got paid. From the outside, it looked like a good life. People would say things like, "You're doing well," or "You've got it figured out." I believed them. I didn't see that something quiet was happening underneath all of it. Not dramatic, not explosive, just small absences stacking up. I missed school events because of work trips I could have said no to. I missed conversations because I was too tired to stay awake on the couch. I missed chances to ask my wife what she was thinking because I assumed I already knew. We didn't fight much. That's something I used to be proud of. I thought it meant we were mature. Looking back now, I think it mostly meant we were avoiding things. There were nights she tried to tell me she felt lonely, even with me sitting right there. I remember nodding, saying I understood, promising we'd take a trip soon, or have more time once things eased up. Things never eased up. The kids grew fast, faster than I expected. One day they needed help with homework, and the next they didn't need me much at all. I told myself that was normal, that it meant I had done my job. What I didn't understand then was that presence isn't something you can make up for later. You don't get to return to it once it's past. There were small moments that should have stopped me. A look on my son's face when I forgot to show up to something he cared about. My daughter choosing to talk to her mother instead of me because I was always distracted. My wife going quiet in ways that didn't feel like peace. But none of it felt urgent. That was the problem. Urgency didn't arrive until much later. In my 40s, I started to feel tired in a deeper way. Not just physically, but mentally. I'd come home and sit in my chair, staring at nothing, feeling like I had given everything I had during the day and had nothing left for the people who were supposed to matter most. I told myself that was just how life worked. There were moments of happiness. I don't want to pretend there weren't. Family holidays, laughter at the table, trips we managed to take when schedules aligned. But even those moments felt rushed, like pauses between obligations instead of the point of it all. I didn't realize I was treating my own life like something to get through. The real cost didn't show up all at once. It showed up slowly, in distance that felt normal, because it happened gradually. My marriage didn't end in a dramatic argument. It faded. We became polite, efficient. We knew each other's routines, but not each other's inner lives. When she got sick, much later, I was shocked by how much I didn't know about her fears, about what she wished we had talked about years earlier, about how alone she had felt even when we were sharing the same bed. I remember sitting beside her in the hospital, holding her hand, thinking I would give anything to go back and sit through one of those conversations I brushed off because I was tired. But time doesn't respond to bargaining. After she passed, the house felt different, too quiet. I told myself I was adjusting, that it would take time. What I didn't realize was that I was finally hearing the silence I had been avoiding for decades. The kids called, but not often. They had their own lives. I was proud of them for that, but I also felt strangely unnecessary. I had spent so long defining myself by what I provided that when there was no one left depending on me, I wasn't sure who I was. Retirement didn't feel like freedom. It felt like standing still after a lifetime of running and realizing I didn't know how to stop properly. That's when the understanding started to settle in, not as a sudden revelation, but as a heavy, unavoidable awareness. What mattered wasn't the steadiness I built at the expense of connection. It wasn't the approval of supervisors whose names I barely remember now. It wasn't the sense of being needed by systems that replaced me without much trouble. What mattered was the conversations I postponed, the attention I withheld, because I thought there would be time later, the moments I treated as optional. I thought love was something you secured through consistency and sacrifice. I didn't understand that it also needs presence, real presence, the kind that listens without planning the next task. There are things I can't fix now. That's something I've had to accept. Can't go back and sit at the kitchen table longer when my wife was trying to tell me something important. I can't attend the events I missed or become the version of myself my children needed when they were younger. I can't ask for another chance to notice what was right in front of me. What I can do is say this honestly, without dressing it up. If you're listening to this and your life feels busy, but manageable, productive but hollow in ways you don't quite want to name, that feeling doesn't go away on its own. It waits. It grows quieter, not smaller. I used to think meaning was something you reached after you handled everything else. I thought it was a reward at the end. Now I understand it's woven into the small, ordinary moments we dismiss because they don't feel important enough. I wish I had known that being present isn't inefficient, that stopping to listen doesn't derail your life, that people don't need you to be impressive. They need you to be there. I don't say this to instruct you. I wouldn't trust advice from someone who learned it this late either. I'm only telling you what it feels like to see it clearly when the time to act on it has mostly passed. My days are simpler now. I make my coffee slowly. By the window, I think about the people I loved and the ways I showed it imperfectly. There's gratitude mixed in with the sorrow. I did have a life. I did love, and I was loved, even if I didn't always recognize it in time. But if I'm honest, the weight I carry isn't from the things I failed at. It's from the things I delayed until they were no longer possible. If this meant something to you, if it stirred a thought you've been setting aside, You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just notice it. Sit with it. Don't assume it will wait forever. As for me, I don't have many years left to figure anything else out. Quieter now. Softer in ways I didn't know how to be before. I spend my time remembering and trying to be gentle with those memories. Some days are harder than others. This is what actually matters. I see it now. I just wish I hadn't needed 60 years to understand it.